Hello everyone, my name's Evan and welcome to Walking with Dragons. In this video we're going to be aquascaping my 50 litre bedside aquarium. I've had this aquarium for a while now but haven't actually been able to use it as a fish tank, so I've mostly used it for keeping inverts in the past, and now it's the opportunity to turn it into an aquarium. Now I used to keep fish and I used to have quite a few tanks running at one time. However, as circumstances changes, I actually got out of that side of the hobby and it's now been a few years, so I've decided that I want to get back into it. I started by adding pre-soaked sand to the bottom of the aquarium. I added this using a small bowl. This was to prevent making a large mess outside of the tank. Once I had added the sand and levelled it out, I then started on the hardscape for the aquarium. I added pre-soaked driftwood and large rocks, burying parts of the wood to create areas of different height in the aquarium for the fish to swim around. Once I was happy with the hardscape, I then added the plants. For this aquarium I used 3 different species of plants, ones which I've used in tanks I've aquascaped before and that have low care requirements. These plants are Java fern, Hydrophilia polysperma and Cryptocoryne balzonia. The Java fern I planted on top of the wood and later decided to move its location as I wasn't happy where I originally placed it. As for the other 2 plants, I planted them randomly around the aquarium. This was to provide a nice colour contrast and leaf contrast as well. The nice thing about using a plant like Hydrophilia polysperma is that you can cut it down and replant it. So as it grows in this aquarium I can cut, replant it, creating denser growth of plants in the aquarium. Once I was happy with the planting, I then placed the heater and filter in the aquarium and began to fill up the tank. I placed a small bowl in the bottom of the tank to pour water into. This was to prevent sand from dispersing everywhere and loosening the plants once the water poured into the tank. Once I filled the aquarium up, as you can see, the sand did cause the water to become quite murky, so I left the tank for a few days to allow the sand to settle. Once I did, I then added some pre-cycled filter media from my dad's aquarium. This is so that I didn't have to cycle the aquarium and also meant that I could add fish straight away. I turned the filter and heater on and allowed them to run in the tank for 24 hours. This was to make sure that the water was up to temperature and also to make sure the filter was working correctly. I then went to my local fish store, and the reason for that is I got the water tested, and obviously this was just to be on the safe side that the fish that I was going to purchase to add to this aquarium were going into a healthy environment. The fish that I selected to go in the aquarium were 6 black phantom tetras. Now these are a personal favourite of mine, and a fish that I used to love having in aquariums that I've had in the past. I find them very beautiful and they have some lovely coloration, and the fins are absolutely amazingly shaped. Once I got the fish home, the bag that they were in, I placed it in the aquarium and turned the light off in the tank. This was so that they could adjust to the temperature of the water and also so that they would keep the stress levels down. Obviously with new fish getting moved around they get stressed very easily, so anything I can do to cut the stress levels down I will. I left the fish for 30 minutes allowing them to adjust to the temperature of the water in the aquarium. I then removed the bag which the fish were in and then placed a net on top of a bucket and then poured the contents of the bag into the net. This allowed the water to fall through into the bucket and then allow me to add the fish into the aquarium gently and smoothly. Now the main reason for doing this is 1, contamination control. I don't want any water from any other aquarium store getting into my fish tank, so that was the main reason. 2, it also is a lot smoother and easier to add the fish into the aquarium as I can place them using the net into the tank. I then left the light off for about 24 hours. Again, this was to keep the stress levels down while the fish settled into their new home. Once I turned the light on in the aquarium, the tetras stayed together for the most part, and over the course of the last week they have become more confident separating out and swimming throughout the aquarium. As for the moment, they all seem very happy. They've all settled in well, all feeding, and they're showing no signs of ill health whatsoever. I'm really enjoying this aquarium and it's nice to watch it at night before I go to sleep, and also it's nice to watch in the mornings when I wake up as well. But this tank is still very new and I don't want to put many fish in at once, as it could risk overloading the tank and causing an ammonia spike. As time goes by, I'll continue to make updates on this aquarium and what fish I add to it, as I have quite a few ideas in mind. Now you might be wondering, what other fish am I planning on adding to this aquarium as time goes by? The simple short answer to that is I'm planning on adding other South American fish to it as well, like other tetras, corridors and potentially a pair of apistogrammas as well. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I hope that you all enjoyed it, and I hope that this potentially helped you all out as well, those of you that are looking at setting up your first aquariums as well. And once again, thank you very much for watching and have a good day.